Hey everyone, meteorologist Mike Griffith here for East Coast Weather Association. It is Saturday, June 3rd, 2017, and I want to take a look at the forecast here, zoomed out on the large, wide scale North American picture of the GFS model. And there's that tropical disturbance down there. It's kind of disorganized in Mexico, just west of Nicaragua. And it's going to be entering the Gulf here with a lot of rain and storms over the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to kind of drift eastward and not really get that organized because of the amount of wind shear down there. It's going to keep this thing pretty much disorganized, and it's going to move across South Florida in the coming days, bringing very heavy rain to Miami and Fort Lauderdale down there. So share if you know any family or friends down there because they're going to have some issues with some flooding down there throughout the course of the next week or so. So here comes that system here on during the day today. Starts to get organized. A lot of the rain starts to spread across the whole state of Florida as we go into the later today time frame. You're going to see lots of storms and showers break out across the state of Florida. Elsewhere across the middle part of the country, from Wisconsin down to Texas and in Louisiana, we're looking at a lot of instability with showers and thunderstorms throughout the night, Saturday into Sunday. Sunday looks like more of the same, continued unsettled here across much of the southeast, including Florida. Lots of rain in there streaming up from this disturbance in the Gulf. And there's just going to be a lot of rain and storms for Florida there. Looking at possibly 6 to 7 inches of rain across the very southern tip of Florida, including Miami, over the next week. And looks out here in the Pacific looking like an active storm track across the northern Pacific and the jet stream as the systems keep on coming into the Pacific Northwest, including the Canadian Rockies. More showers and thunderstorms here on Monday across much of the southeast, so remaining very unsettled, probably even into western New York State and maybe even New England, also becoming very unsettled into the day on Monday. Looking like a low pressure system is going to keep Vermont and Boston and down into Philly wet. Also from Raleigh to Charlotte to Atlanta, all the way to Dallas, really, really wet. Probably the Panhandle of Florida too, throughout the day on Monday as well. And then a cold front comes through and swings through and pushes out to sea here by Tuesday morning, but still going to be wet around New England, as much of the East Coast, including Florida, is going to still be unsettled here with lots of showers and thunderstorms. Florida just remains wet all the way into Wednesday. The weather down there is just going to turn really, really sour, really damp and wet. Lots of rain and storms down there, flooding downpours. Here comes our next system out here in the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be moving onshore and dropping a cold front across Seattle and also Oregon here on Friday, Thursday, 8th, Friday into the 9th of next week. And look at all this down here, all this moisture across Mexico and even parts of Central America, including Belize and Nicaragua. Look at this up here in northern Canada. There's some snow associated with this storm system up here in northern Canada. Not totally unheard of, but it's just kind of interesting that the model's putting out snow up there all the way in northern Canada, which just means it's going to be a kind of trophy atmosphere here in the east. It's going to be showery and cool, at least through the middle of June. Still very stormy across southern Florida. Looks like another low pressure system, a tropical wave is going to come in and try to affect South Florida. So rain, 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 and more heavy rain across South Florida. They are going to be in the news and the spotlight across the next 7 days. More than likely, they're going to start experiencing some really, really bad flooding, especially into the middle of this month, 11th of June, into the 12th of June. Continuing showers and thunderstorms there. New Orleans, the Gulf Coast. Everybody gets it down there along the Gulf Coast. A lot of rain and showers and thunderstorms. The West Coast becoming a little bit active. The West, I should say, the mountains, the northern Rockies in the United States are becoming more active into the 13th of June and Tuesday. And it looks like there's some snow showers, some light stuff there in the mountains of Wyoming, mountain tops only. And then the storm system gets organized, tries to move eastward into the 15th, and swings a cold front down, just remaining very, very unsettled here across much of the east as we go into the middle of the month. And look at this right here. Here comes another tropical wave out of the Western Caribbean into the Gulf and up into the panhandle of Florida. Here it is right here. And this is going to probably change from model run to model run, but this L right there, that low, is a tropical system that's going to be moving up into Florida right around the 19th or so. So lots and lots of rain down there, lots of flooding. It's going to be a big issue down there in Florida, and that's pretty much what I am thinking here. Now we're going to switch over to the 500 millibar height anomaly. If I can pull that up here. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, we're just going to kind of run through this really quickly. If you keep an eye on this is cooler than usual temperatures, and this sagginess, this bagginess is a trough here in the eastern part of the United States. So it's going to be a trough into the second or so and the third of June today, and fourth is Sunday. So it's going to remain unsettled up there in the northeast. It starts to be a ridge, upper level ridge across the Pacific Northwest, more like the mountains in the interior Rockies, central part of the United States. This is going to be warmer than usual here into the 4th and 5th of June. Then the 5th and 6th of June, here comes a disturbance out of Canada, moving right over top of Pennsylvania and much of the Northeast. It's going to be very cool and stormy here into the 5th and 6th of June, which is Tuesday of next week. And it's going to be a big trough here across the east coast here. Into the 7th and 8th United States, the 7th and 8th of June across the eastern part of the United States. And across the west here, a ridge is going to be building up there. It's going to be warming up all the way up into Alaska. We're going to expect a lot of record-breaking temperatures out there, and especially in the northern plains as well, probably into the 90s, maybe even into the hundreds in certain locations, the triple digits. Still remaining very unsettled across the east into the 10th of June. And then we start to get a little bit of a ridge here, a little bit of an upper level high into the 13th of June, Tuesday. So it's going to be, the rain's going to take a break here, probably for a little while, from the 12th into the 13th time frame in about 2 weeks from now. And it's going to warm up. It's going to be a nice little, probably a bubble of heat here across the eastern part of the United States. I'm going to draw an H for the high right there. And this whole area in here where it's red is going to be dry. And it's going to start to get hot on Monday, the 12th of June, so a week away from next Monday. And that ridge looks like it kind of holds there for a little while and then starts to break down into the 15th as it moves away. And we start to get another disturbance moving across the northeast, probably bringing more rain and shower activity. Another big, deep trough tries to dig across the central part of the United States into the middle of June and will probably scoot eastward. And here it is right here. And it'll probably try to scoot eastward here in the middle and later of this month and bring more cooler and wetter than usual conditions to much of the east coast there. Let's take a look at the tropics right now and see what's going on with these tropical waves. I was looking at some of the tropical waves earlier today, and there is going to be some areas of interest from the west, from the eastern Atlantic. In fact, here comes a wave right to the Lesser Antilles right here. It's very weak, but it's not going to be really doing much. Much of all this activity is just going to kind of stay down in the ITCZ, which is the Intertropical Convergence. So here comes another wave. Here comes a wave right here. Not much expected in the form of development, but it will be sort of an active hurricane season here across the eastern Atlantic, because we're going to be in a really weak El Nino. And here is the upper level vorticity and heights, and all this yellow and darker colors is more intense energy here across the Atlantic Ocean here. So here comes this little disturbance here across Mexico, Nicaragua, and moves into the Gulf of Mexico. This weekend is going to move into South Florida over the next few days and bring a lot of rain and showery activity there, probably some heavier downpours and some thunderstorms. And here comes some energy leaving the west coast of West Africa around the 8th of June. It doesn't look like it really does a whole lot. It just kind of dies off and doesn't do anything. And then here comes another wave of energy here. Very, very weak stuff coming off the coast of Africa around the 17th to 18th. And not really expecting a whole lot. Here's that wave in the Western Caribbean that could move up into the panhandle of Florida, but it's way too early to see anything like that. For now, we're just going to be watching this system in the Gulf and what it's going to do as far as the heavy rain. That's about it. Meteorologist Mike Griffith for East Coast Weather Association. That's your weekend forecast for Saturday, June 3rd, 2017. Have a great weekend, everybody.